Have you ever experienced the emotional, the intellectual, the personal disappearance of a loved one? They react to their name, call you by your pet name, yet their voice only mimics their own. One day in the future, you feel the same shadow fingers crawl up your ears to your neurons. Restructure them with flicks of breath through your synapses until your memory and sight are false images of a world you can no longer grasp. Welcome to our 7th podcast episode, Face of Grandpa. Good evening, caller. Please state your full name and relation to the horror.
Hi, yes, good evening. I'm, Patrick Knoell, and when I was 9, my grandfather was under the influence of the Devil's Whisper.
I've not heard many of your generation call the disease the Devil's Whisper.
It wasn't Alzheimer's or Lewy Body. It was the Devil's Whisper. My dad died from Alzheimer's. My grandfather was killed by Devil's Whisper.
My apologies, Mr. Knoell.
It's okay. I haven't really spoken about this in years. Ever since I couldn't afford therapy anymore.
Family.
No one who believes me.
People tend to ignore truth's position against their core beliefs. How did these events come to be?
My parents and I were visiting my grandparents in Daytona Beach for the first time that year. Drove down from Atlanta for the 4th of July, I think. Yeah, it was for the 4th of July. We were watching the fireworks on the beach when Grandpa closed his eyes, nodded his head onto his shoulders. The fireworks exploded in reds and whites and yellows when I felt a hand clamp down on my shoulder. Crowns of fireworks cascading behind the silhouetted figure with long curly hair. Mom told me something was wrong with Grandpa. The nurses wouldn't tell me what was wrong. I just remember sitting outside his hospital room when a black cloaked figure with flesh hands and a crown of light stabbing into the sockets where its eyes should be, hobbled into his room. It contorted its eye sockets towards me. "Come," it susurrated. I obeyed. My grandmother held my grandfather's bedridden hand, Mom and Dad in the corner whispering. Grandpa battled his eyelids open. Grandma gasped. Mom and Dad rushed to the bed, the shadow devil lurching closer. Grandpa saw it. He struggled out from the sheets, an index finger. Beneath the cloak, the shadow devil shaped a smile. He stabbed a nail beneath Grandpa's fingernail and vanished. Grandpa sat up in bed. No heavy breathing, no screams of pain, just a smile and questions how he got there. The drive back to their house had moments where Grandpa's eyes would flash lights where pupils ought to be. Hands peeled skin away from flesh with cloak draping over his face. No one else saw it. No one else heard the cackling. At 3 a.m., I gave up trying to sleep. I was just thinking about the shadow devil and how when I told my mom about it, she just patted my head and laughed. I should clarify, she patted my head. Grandpa laughed. The halls were not dark like I expected. A white light was reflecting shadows from the TV in the living room. I heard, "Ha ha! Bam! Ha ha! Bam! Ha ha!" Inside, my grandpa was watching cartoons with a hammer in hand, and the shadow devil massaging his throat. The coffee table he made woodworking the previous summer had hammer-sized holes smashed through them. They creaked their necks in unison to me seconds after I stuck my head into the room. "Patrick, Patrick." The shadow devil moved its mouth, but the voice was Grandpa's.
Your young mind must have underwent great difficulty in that moment.
No, weirdly, I felt scared, but it felt natural. Wrong, but natural. Like a lion eating a deer. I didn't stay long. Sleeping in my parents' bed was the only safe place I could think of.
Your grandfather, did he have a history with the supernatural?
No, I don't know. I was too young back then to know what is faith and what is witchcraft. I just remember the next morning, Grandpa was more like himself again, and the shadow devil was not there anymore. Grandpa tried to play baseball with me, but he wasn't as strong as before. I told him it's okay, and it really was. I was just happy to have him back. Just wished he could remember my name as Patrick. We walked back to the house, with the sun setting behind the play park in the village. Flash of light in one of his pupils. Patrick? He had my name right the first time that day. You saw it too? I nodded. I think it's coming back. I need you to run and get Grandma, okay? Why? It wants you too, Patrick. Go! I tore through the village, each lamplight dead as I passed it. Grandpa came for me. Closer, closer. He grabbed at me in front of the construction site. My shirt caught on his nails, suddenly sharp and violently black. I untangled myself from my shirt as he continued to say, Patrick, Patrick on a stick. Tasty memories to the very last lick. It gnawed on my shirt when I ran into the unfinished house. I still remember how the moon, strange in the white light, shone. The concrete floor seemed almost like a portal color, with pieces of black soil spoiling it after each step Grandpa gave. I was hiding in the roof. He hunted me with the same song. Patrick, Patrick on a stick. Tasty memories to the very last lick. Closer and closer his footsteps cracked through the night air. I could see his hands when he reached the second floor, clamp black soot onto the cement walls, then disappear after a second, small flames claiming the soot. He sniffed for me. Every second longer the shadow devil controlled him, the more and more he looked less and less like Grandpa. Horns slithered under his skin.
Was the shadow devil visible in the room?
No, only in Grandpa's eyes.
You could see his eyes.
When he shot his head through a beam in the ceiling, I saw the pupils glow. He thrust his hands around my neck and tore me down into the room. The light in his eyes grew weaker the longer he choked me. It grew darker around me, but Grandpa's face grew more like him. When the darkness almost blacked out my vision, I felt a release around my neck. The horns and shining eyes were gone. Grandpa sat in a corner, breathless. Patrick, are you okay? I nodded. I think he's gone now for good. I got him under control. I'm so sorry he hurt you, my boy. I told Mom and Dad, Grandpa's okay now. They just ruffled my hair. Grandpa remembered my name. The family went out to the beach the next day. Grandpa could throw the frisbee like he always did. He joked like he always did. Smiled like he used to. I told my parents that night, see, he's okay now. He's fixed. Mom just said that with Lewy Body Dementia, this happens sometimes. I should enjoy the good moments, but be prepared to lose them again. We didn't lose them. The rest of the vacation was great. They drove up to us for Thanksgiving. Grandma got out of the car with the turkey. The shadow devil guided Grandpa out with marionette strings and a snicker. The laugh in my head grew louder when he came into our house, when he cut the turkey through Grandpa, and when I went to bed that night. At 3 a.m. it stopped. A few seconds passed, then I heard cartoon laughter from the living room. Grandpa wasn't there. Neither was the TV, or the laughter. TV light flickered from the porch. The TV outside, black and unplugged. The light came from inside Grandpa's mouth, the sound from his eyes. He cracked his neck to me. Everything disappeared. Who are you? He asked me. Grandpa, it's me. He jumped from his seat, pointed to something behind me. He snatched the carving knife hidden by the chair. Grandpa lurched at me. You are bringing him to me! He screamed at me, knife swinging violently, cutting chair and patio and door.
And no one awoke from the noise.
My father ran down the stairs. He saw us fighting, but when he tried to get closer, Grandpa grabbed me and held the knife to my throat. He backed into the yard. "He brought the demon to me. He has the demon," Grandpa said like punctured bagpipes. Dad froze.
The fear of betrayal and loss in the same moment. None can blame him.
Grandpa dragged me to an abandoned building, normally used for drug deals and pentagram graffiti. He tied me with zip ties to old heating pipes.
At any point in this commotion, did you observe the shadow devil?
No, just my grandpa talking to himself.
What did he say?
He asked how I knew him, how I controlled a shadow demon. The questions grew more desperate and more strange. Grammar gone alongside meaning. Devil black and kid. Then 1, 2, 8, 22. He slashed at the air. He stabbed the walls and the windows, screaming, "No!" over and over. He ran out of the building, fighting imaginary monsters as far as I could see him. My parents found me the next day. The police found his body, starved to death, in a field 2 weeks later. I called tonight to tell you about his story and the shadow devil that haunted him because I've started to see it again. I don't know if it's here for me or for my wife or my children. I just know it will win in the end. But this time, everyone can prepare for him.
Our memories are not pictures of the truth, but copies of the last time we thought of the event, unreliable at best, and lies at worst. Usually I would advocate you to search the dark corners of your life, but tonight I believe it more fitting to advocate interrogating your memories. Who knows what horror you have wiped for your own sanity? Have a good night.